Something special is brewing in Las Vegas, and it's not just the scorching desert heat. Inside Raiders camp, a quiet storm is rising, and it's coming from the rookie wide receiver room, Jackson Powers Johnson. Yes, the powerhouse lineman that's quickly earning respect across the NFL, recently shared some behind-the-scenes insight that Raiders fans won't want to miss. When asked which rookies have caught his eye, he didn't hesitate. The first name out of his mouth, Dante Thornton. According to Jackson, Thornton isn't just surviving out there, he's thriving, taking reps with the veterans, staying composed, and showing near-perfect understanding of the playbook. He's attacking it like a pro, Jackson said. He's not flinching, he knows what to do, and he's doing it at a high level. But it didn't stop there. Jackson also gave a nod to another rookie wideout, Beck. While Thornton's making noise on the field, Beck is grinding behind the scenes. Jackson described how he invited all the rookies over to his place. Good food, poolside vibes, just a chance to bond. But when the night wore on, Beck stood up and said, "Hey bro, I gotta go. I need to get back to my playbook." That's the kind of dedication Raider Nation needs to know about. Before we dive into more from Raiders camp, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like, and hit that bell icon so you never miss exclusive updates straight from Las Vegas. All right, back to the action. It's rare to see rookies walk into the NFL and carry themselves like veterans, but that's exactly what's happening inside the Raiders locker room. Jackson Powers Johnson didn't just throw praise around. He meant every word when he singled out Dante Thornton as a potential breakout. Thornton isn't just showing up. He's fitting in with the starters, earning reps, and handling pressure like a seasoned pro. Sure, his technique still has room to grow. What rookie doesn't? But when it comes to knowing his role, understanding responsibilities, and executing plays, Thornton is checking every box. And here's where it gets exciting for Raider Nation. Dante might be the late-round gem the Raiders have been searching for. Let's face it, the Raiders haven't always struck gold in the later rounds. While Max Crosby was an exception, a true diamond in the rough, most Day 3 picks haven't lived up to expectations. But Thornton, he might just rewrite that story. Critics have raised questions. Can he handle a full NFL route tree? Was his college tape at Oregon enough? But those doubts are quickly being drowned out by his performance in camp. He's not the same raw kid from Oregon anymore. He's maturing, adapting, and proving that he belongs in silver and black. If Jackson Powers Johnson believes in this guy, then Raider Nation better start watching closely. Dante Thornton might be the sleeper story of the season. Improvement takes time in the NFL, but what if a rookie is already flashing greatness before the pads even go on? That's exactly what's happening with Dante Thornton. It's still early, but what we're seeing from the young wideout is hard to ignore. The word out of Raiders camp is that Thornton isn't just standing out, he's lighting it up. His speed, his confidence, his understanding of the playbook, it's all coming together, and that has the coaching staff buzzing. Will it translate when training camp kicks off in a few weeks? That remains to be seen. But if early signs mean anything, the Raiders might be looking at their future WR1. Now, while most of the spotlight has landed on Thornton, there's another name quietly making waves, Beck. He's not getting the same headlines, but insiders are starting to notice. While Thornton may bring the big play energy, Beck is earning his spot the old-school way, with consistency, discipline, and film room obsession. Beck is likely to slot in behind Jakobi Meyers, possibly filling that possession receiver role when needed. He's not a deep threat like Thornton, but his route running and work ethic are exactly what you want from a reliable number. 2 or slot option. One moment says it all. After a team gathering, while others relaxed, Beck stood up and said, "I got to get back to my playbook." That's a mindset every winning team needs. Taking a step back, one thing is clear. This Raiders rookie class looks different, and with GM Tom Telesco now shaping the roster, things might just be turning around in Las Vegas. For years, the Raiders struggled to build a consistent roster, and much of that pain came from one place: poor leadership at the top. From the final stretch of the Dave Ziegler era to the chaotic drafts under John Gruden and Mike Mayock, Las Vegas repeatedly missed on crucial first-round picks. Names like Alex Leatherwood and Damon Arnett still sting for Raider Nation. Even under Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, the team passed on future stars like Jalen Carter and Darnell Wright in favor of picks that haven't fully panned out. like Tyree Wilson, whose impact remains a question mark. But now, there's a new energy in the building. Since Tom Telesco took over as general manager and paired up with John Spytek, the Raiders draft board has looked smarter, sharper, and more promising. Already, Jackson Powers Johnson is showing signs of becoming a future star on the offensive line. Brock Bowers could be a generational tight end. And DJ Glaze, a third-round pick, is already being penciled in as the team's starting right tackle. And that's not all. Spytek didn't stop with flashy names. He went for depth and long-term value, grabbing Ashton Jeanty, a dynamic running back with top-5 potential for the next decade, and wideouts like Dante Thornton and Jack Beck, both of whom are already turning heads in minicamp. Even players like Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant, selected deeper in the draft, could develop into long-term starters along the offensive line, exactly the kind of pieces the Raiders have failed to develop in the past. If Beck gives you 800 yards a season and Thornton adds another 600 as a deep threat, that's outstanding value for where they were picked. Beck at number 58, Thornton in round 4. They don't need to be stars overnight, they just need to consistently produce. After years of draft frustration, it finally feels like the Raiders are building something real. While there's been plenty of excitement around the Raiders' rookie class, not every update brings good news for Raider Nation. One missed opportunity that's raising eyebrows is the signing of Jair Alexander, but not by the Raiders. The former Packers cornerback, long speculated as a potential fit in Las Vegas, is officially heading to the Baltimore Ravens. That stings. Even if Alexander isn't the shutdown force he once was, he's still widely viewed as a top 15 corner, someone who could have easily stepped in as the Raiders' top guy in the secondary. Las Vegas, a team still searching for consistency at cornerback, could have used that kind of talent. Instead, a stacked Ravens defense just got even better. The deal? Modest. Reports suggest Baltimore got him for just $4 million guaranteed, with incentives potentially pushing it to $6 million. That's a number the Raiders absolutely could have matched. Sure, scheme fit always matters, but at some point, talent has to override hesitation. And Alexander still brings plenty of it. Now, the focus shifts to the remaining free agents. Stefon Gilmore is still on the market, a proven veteran who waded deep into the offseason before signing last year. If the Raiders are serious about strengthening the back end of their defense, moves like this can't be delayed much longer. Bottom line, the Raiders can't afford to let every top defensive back slip away. The talent is there. The question is, will Las Vegas make the move before someone else does? There's still time for the Raiders to make a move, and if they're serious about tightening up the secondary, Stefon Gilmore might just be the perfect fit. At this stage in his career, Gilmore brings more than just experience. He brings the kind of size and length that fits the Raiders' cover 3 zone scheme. He's physical, instinctive, and has the football IQ to anchor a young secondary that needs leadership and poise under pressure. The Raiders don't need a man-to-man shutdown artist. They need a veteran who can own space, react quickly, and elevate those around him. Gilmore checks those boxes. And while there may be a few other names floating in free agency, none bring the combination of upside and leadership that Gilmore does. If Las Vegas wants to take a real step forward on defense, this is the kind of low-risk, high-reward signing that can shift momentum fast. Even head coach Antonio Pierce seems to be hinting that moves are still on the table. In a recent press conference, he emphasized that this roster is far from final, and that if someone better becomes available, the Raiders won't hesitate to make changes. It's clear, mediocrity won't be tolerated. This regime is hunting for upgrades, and every position is under review. Jair Alexander may be off the board, but the door is wide open for the Raiders to make a statement. Whether it's Gilmore or another solid fit, the time to act is now. Another former Raider has resurfaced. Damon Arnett is getting a shot with the Houston Texans. For Raider Nation, it's a tough reminder of a draft pick that never lived up to expectations. Taken 15th overall, Arnett was supposed to be a long-term cornerstone in the Raiders' secondary. Instead, his time in Las Vegas was short and disappointing, cut loose by his second season, never finding the discipline or consistency needed at the pro level. Now, after a stint in the UFL with the Houston Roughnecks, where he flashed some promise with 18 tackles, a sack, and a pick six, Arnett is hoping for redemption in the NFL. But make no mistake, This is not about rooting against him. Every player deserves a second chance, especially when they've shown a willingness to grow. Still, the reality is clear. Arnett's failure in Las Vegas was symbolic of a larger problem, the string of wasted first-round picks that haunted the franchise for years. Could things have been different with better leadership? Possibly. But the Raiders at that time were led by a regime that valued control over development, and players like Arnett paid the price. Today's Raiders, under Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco, are built differently. Accountability still matters, but there's a stronger focus on player growth, mentorship, and structure. That's the difference. Arnett's chapter in Vegas is closed. What matters now is what this current group of Raiders can do moving forward. And so far, the new era is rewriting the story.